Hey guys, I'm just Genshin, and welcome to my updated Genshin Impact tier list as of 1.5. Ignore what you're seeing over here right now, so if you didn't watch my first quote-unquote definitive asterisk Genshin Impact tier list, you should go back and watch that one, because all of the ratings that you're seeing here were my ratings as of, I believe at that time it was 1.3. It was the Zhong Li banner had just concluded, and I believe it was the Albedo banner, so Dragon Spine, had just ticked up. What would that have been, like last November, December-ish? Quite a while ago. I, at the time, by the way, shoutouts to my boy Reese, who I'm stealing this idea from. I not only stole the idea from my original Genshin tier list from him, but he, about a couple weeks ago, decided, what if I went back to that first tier list and I reassessed my rankings at the time, and I reordered them as I feel about them today. I am stealing this content from him as well, so thank you, Reese, for providing all of the content ideas. Obviously, in recompense, I will put a link to your video down in the description below. You guys should go watch it, especially if you like Amber. What we're going to be doing, as my boy Reese did, is we're going to take a look at this list that I had here. Again, when I made this list, I think I'd been playing Genshin for maybe like 3 or 4 weeks, less than a month certainly. I was still a fresh little baby boy in the world of Genshin Impact. Now, I could write the encyclopedia. I've been playing this game every single day, probably minimum 1 or 2 hours a day for like 4 or 5 months. Oh my gosh, it's May. Probably like 6 months actually. I've been playing this game every single day, spending my resin every single day, upgrading characters. I now have 2 accounts. I have 1 account that I'm a light spender on. I've probably spent about like 45, 50 bucks between battle passes and Moon Mage, Welkin Moon Mage crystals. And then my second account, I'm completely free to play. But I do have a nice assortment of characters between the two, so I have tested a lot of these characters out now. There's still a few characters sprinkled through here that I don't have and haven't played through, but I mean, when I put this list in here. Oh, by the way, also, like, as you can see at the bottom, like 5 new characters have come out since the last time I did this, so new characters to talk about, and also I've learned a lot more about what kind of playstyle I like in general, and when I looked at this, I was like, what was I thinking for some of these? It's crazy how my opinions on some characters have changed. Some for the positive, some for the negative. So what we're going to do is we're going to start up in the S tier, and we're basically just going to go from left to right. We're going to go 1 character at a time. I'm going to let you know if I think that character still deserves that position, and if they don't deserve that position, I'm going to move them. So, starting up at the top left, we have Jinyan, who was my main when I first started Genshin Impact. Like I said, I came in on the Zhong Li banner, and I'm really upset I didn't get Zhong Li at the time, because I think probably my entire worldview would have changed. Instead, I wished quite a bit on that banner, and I got several characters. I believe it was Razor, Jinyan. Was Barbara on that banner? Barbara was on that banner, I'm like 90% sure. I had Barbara's. I have a level 80 Barbara, I am embarrassed to admit. And I mained Jinyan. I mained Jinyan for a very, very, very long time. I still love the dunk, 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 the sound of the drum that she carries around with her as she goes around. However, I do regret to inform you, my fellow Jinyan mains, I bailed. I did bail on Jinyan after a while. It's not even her fault. I didn't set her up for success. I didn't know what I was doing when I was building characters. I gave her the debate club, a 3-star claymore, because I thought it looked cool, before I cared about stats or anything like that, and was like, I'm just gonna fashion souls it. And then after a while I was like, my Jinyan's not very good, I'm switching characters, and I'm following a build guide. If I would have just gone back and followed a build guide for Jinyan, I bet I could have got her in a pretty good place where I would have been happy to continue maining her. But eventually, I broke and I made the switch, and I switched over to a Razor main, which was nice. I originally just put the debate club on him as well, and then I was like, this is this is very bad. And then Dragon Spine came out. I got the Snow Tomb Star Silver, physical damage bonus gave it to Razor. The rest is history. I became a Razor main, and he's still the main. Not even, it's my A team in regards to the fact that it's the first team I ever built, but it's probably not my best team anymore. Jinyan is still on that team. Jinyan is my second fiddle to Razor. I still love using her burst. I still love using her giant pyro explosion to get some nice overload. I still like using her E to get a 15% physical debuff so that Razor slaps even harder, but she is definitely second fiddle now. However, I still love the character. I still think the character is very good, very fun to play. I think she gets not nearly enough credit as she deserves. She has I can't believe, no quest for her yet. I thought maybe they'd at least give her a hangout. Nope, no hangout for her yet. Truly the only thing I don't like about this character is that they gave her a strange southern accent. But other than that, I really like everything about this character. Unfortunately, I am going to have to drop her down to A tier. I think I was a little crazy when I first put her in the S tier. She was my main. I was like, how dare people not love this character? I still think she deserves some love. From MiHoYo in particular. But she's not as good as I originally thought, which is okay, though. I'll put her in A tier. Fischl. Here's the thing. So I missed the free Fischl event. I ended up getting a Fischl just via wishes, which was awesome. Fischl is a great story in my case of how the mighty have fallen. Fischl was on my A team for a long time. Then she was on the main team with Jinyan. Then when I decided to add Razor as my main Electro and kept Jinyan on the team, she fell out of favor, unfortunately. My main team was Razor, Kaya for Superconduct, Bennett for heals, and Jinyan for the physical debuff and the Pyro Resonance. It's still my A team to this day. And Fischl, I said, okay, Fischl's gonna fall to the B team. I didn't know what the B team was going to look like, but I said Fischl's going on the B team. It's going to be an an elemental team of some sort. I'll build an elemental Fischl. And unfortunately, as the B team started to come into focus about maybe a month or so ago, I finally finished the B team. As it started to come into focus, I started saying to myself, uh-oh, there's no spot for Fischl on this team. Fischl has now fallen down to the C team. This is a character, she was the second character next to Jinyan that I ascended all the way to phase 6. So a lot of investment into this character. She's at level 80 and to the final level of ascension, and she essentially sits on the bench. It's very sad. I think she's still great. The character design is awesome. Oz is super cool, except he sometimes scares me when he talks because I'm expecting Fischl's voice and then strange German deep-voiced man voice happens instead. She's a really cool character. Someday when I build that C team, and I'm building a Zhao C team right now, I'm thinking she's going to fit really well on a Zhao C team. Unfortunately, she's really fallen out of favor, so I'm going to have to bring her down to... I'm going to stick her in the A tier. I'm going to stick her in the A tier for now, as if the A tier is a punishment. A is still fantastic in the grand scheme of things, but she's fallen out of favor a bit, and I hate to say it. Chi-Chi is one of the few characters that I still do not have on either account. On 2 separate accounts, I've gotten many a gold, and believe me, if there was a Chi-Chi banner, I would wish on Chi-Chi, even though I know she's considered not a great character because shields are better than heals, and at some point heals just don't do much anymore, and you're better just getting more physical damage output instead. I know she's not considered, she may actually be considered the worst 5-star. However, she's a shorty. There's not that many shorties in the game. I think there's 3 of them currently. Her character itself is adorable. And for those 2 things alone, again, I'm factoring those in here as well. I love everything about Chi-Chi's character. And I think the way I did this when we first did this tier list was I looked at the characters and I said, if this character showed up in a wish, how excited would I be? I would be through the moon. I would be absolutely through the moon if Chi-Chi showed up, but I'm still waiting for it to happen. Unfortunately, I can't tell you much about her playstyle because all I know is my boy NSL brings Chi-Chi anytime we're having trouble with anything, and we never die. So she will keep you alive. Next is D-Luke. D-Luke's going to remain in the S tier, and I can tell you how I would feel if a D-Luke showed up when I wished, because a D-Luke did show up when I wished. On my second account, I wasn't even going for him. It was during the Venti banner rerun. I was pogged up. I wanted Venti so bad. I hit pity. I was at like 84. I finally hit my gold. The gold comes in, and then I see the outline, and I go, that's not the Venti outline. Instant sad. The D-Luke character JPEG appears. Instant pog. Yeah, I love D-Luke. He instantly became my main on that account, which was sad. So on my second account, what I did was I used like 10 different emails, and then I played like the first hour of the game where you get 20 free wishes, and I waited to see which account got the best characters out of the first 20 free wishes. And on one of them, I got a Kaching in my first 20 wishes. I got a gold in my first 20 pull. I know, it's crazy. So I stuck with that account. And Kaching, as you know, is really only good as a main DPS. So I said, alright, I will build a team to support Kaching. And then not 2 months later, I pull D-Luke and I go, alright, Kaching, have fun on the B team, which is where she is sitting currently. But D-Luke is my main. On that account, my team is D-Luke, Singsho, Bennett, and Sucrose, which I think may be like the most generic D-Luke team of all time, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's so good. The elemental reactions are busted, and I really like D-Luke's playstyle. It's pretty basic. It's really just hit stuff and keep your sword infused with pyro, and I said it in the last video, I'll say it again. The D-Luke quest, the cutscene where he fights all of the Abyss Mages out in front of Mondstadt, is the single cutscene that got me hooked on Genshin Impact, and I love this character, so I will never say goodbye to him. Razor is still the main on my A team. Razor, I'm not gonna lie, has fallen out of favor a little bit in the last few months for me. Where I originally liked Razor a lot because of his, I don't want to call it basic, that's a little rude, simple playstyle. His playstyle is relatively simple. Try to get your Q charged up as quickly as possible, stack some energy recharge on there, have a cryo character, proc superconduct, and literally just smash stuff. Like it doesn't take a lot of mental gymnastics. Really, it's proc superconduct, hit stuff. That's the end of it. While I initially really liked that simple playstyle, I think it was because I was bad at the game, and as I've gotten better at Genshin Impact, and now I can get these more advanced combos kind of happening, and I'm seeing this a lot on my B team on my main account, which we'll get into in a second. The simplicity of the playstyle is it's more boring to me, I would say. I have less fun with that playstyle than I originally did. However, playstyle aside, I still love the character's aesthetic. Anytime Razor pops up, and I'm still going for C4 Razor, so I would be pogged to see him show up at any constellation of any kind. I still love the character. I love his backstory, and he's just absolutely adorable. So I'm gonna keep him in the S tier. Okay, Kaching. Kaching, as I said on my second account, I pulled in my first 20. She was quickly replaced by D-Luke. She was not only replaced by D-Luke because I think D-Luke is even better, but she was also replaced by D-Luke because I put her in the S tier originally. I hate to admit it, but purely based off of aesthetics. And purely based off the fact that all of my friends had her at the time, and every time I went into their worlds, it was just constantly the Electro Ninja jumping all over the place attack, which I thought was sick. I ended up using her for a while, and I'm not gonna say she wasn't for me. I don't know if I ever really got her to a place where I could really utilize her very well. Obviously, there's two builds with her. You could do a physical Kaching, which everyone says is better, but it's more boring, or the Electro build, which is more fun but harder to make work. I went with the Electro build, which again was fine. You end up proccing Overload a ton, and enemies just go flying, and they end up leaving the vicinity of your attack quite often, so you're just like chasing enemies down constantly. You're constantly doing charge attacks, so your stamina is always at 0 and you can't sprint anywhere. Now I will say, having Kaching in the early game for exploration, the second time around for getting like Animoculi and Geoculi, being able to use the stiletto to teleport, clutch. Unbelievably clutch. But in terms of playstyle, I vastly overrated this character initially. I'm going to have to drop Kaching down to the A tier, unfortunately. And honestly, I know it seems like bloodletting right now. Like, it's a massacre. All of the S tiers are falling. The S tier is supposed to be the pinnacle anyway. So I feel like we should reserve it as such. Speaking of S tiers, Klee. Klee is going to remain in the S tier. Now, here's the thing. Like Chi-Chi, Klee is another character that I don't have. So, originally I put Kaching up in the A tier, or sorry, in the S tier. I didn't have her, and then when I got her and actually played as her, quickly realized she wasn't for me. I don't think I would enjoy Klee's playstyle either, just based off what I've seen. However, much like Chi-Chi, adorable, short character, cute backstory. I like when she talks. I like when she blows up the fish in Starfell Lake. This one is an S tier basically purely off of who the character is, rather than playstyle. So know that Chi-Chi and Klee may be a little, we'll put them next to each other because that's probably where they belong. Zhong Li. I came into the game on the Zhong Li banner. I didn't know anything about the game, and I said, darn, I wish I would have gotten Zhong Li. And then as the months progressed, I said, son of a bee, I wish I would have gotten Zhong Li. Zhong Li's story quest, the one where you do the backstory of Liyue and the God of Salt, is my favorite quest in the entirety of the Genshin Impact story thus far. Love the lore, love getting to play as Zhong Li. The entire backstory of the quest I think is awesome. Anytime I get to hear Zhong Li's deep Geodaddy voice speak, obviously it's going to be a very good time. It's my favorite quest the entire game. And I was blessed enough, many of you may have been there actually, to see it over on Twitch. I was blessed enough to pull Zhong Li in the most recent rerun. And oh my goodness, he has broken my team. He's not only S tier, he's my #1 favorite character probably in the entire game. He's so good. His shields are so strong. He has now made the game a joke for me. I had never been able to beat even floor 11 of the Spiral Abyss before. I got Zhong Li and I instantly cleared the entirety of Spiral Abyss. Not only did I clear it, but I cleared it in the most recent version, which everyone on the internet seems to say they made infinitely harder. Zhong Li made me be able to clear it instantly. So, huge shoutouts to Zhong Li. He is on my B team. I call it my B team because it's the second team I built, but it's really my A team in terms of strength. The B team is Hu Tao, Xing Shou, Albedo, and Zhong Li. It is a busted team. It is so unbelievably strong. It has made the game simple and easy, and I have a lot of fun playing it. Zhong Li's not only S tier, he's at the pinnacle of the S tier. Okay, we're moving down to A tier. We've already done Kaching, we've done Fischl, we've done Jinyan, Kaya. Aesthetics-wise, I love Kaya. Character, personality-wise, love Kaya. He's got an eye patch, even though I'm pretty sure he says he doesn't need the eye patch, if I remember correctly. He wears it just for looks, maybe wants to strengthen that left eye up. I'm not really sure. I have Kaya still on my A team to proc Superconduct. This is a little bit of a spoiler for later. I was fully planning on replacing him with Rosaria, but she didn't come home, unfortunately, so I still have Kaya. I regret putting as much time and effort into Kaya as I have. I think he's decent, but I think I greatly overrated him in the beginning of the game, and I am unfortunately paying for it now. I'm on the wrong screen. I clicked something and nothing moved. I'm unfortunately going to put him down in the B tier. I think A tier was maybe a little too high for him. He's fine, and especially if you build like a lot of crit on him with the Blizzard Strayer set, made him a lot better. he could do really good things, but I don't know. I hate to say there's like a vendetta against the original characters because you get them for free and that means they're boring. He's certainly the most interesting of those characters, but to some degree I do believe that he is a little bit boring. Let's go to Albedo. I have Albedo, as I mentioned. Was he the first 5-star I pulled? I think he was. I think Albedo was the first 5-star I pulled, and I'm ashamed to say he sat on my bench for forever. I never used him. I thought he was kind of boring. I didn't... He has, as I was talking about earlier with Razor, Razor's a very basic hit stuff. His is a little bit more advanced. You got to build defense, and you've got these transient blossoms that explode, and his ult, and it's a little bit more confusing to build. I finally gave this man a chance when they announced the Zhong Li rerun. And I said, okay, on my B team, I think I want 2 Geo, so I can have the extra shield strength and the Geo resonance. And I'm certainly not building Noelle, and I don't really want to build Ningguang, so I'm going to give Albedo a shot. I'm very upset that I did not give Albedo a shot sooner. He is so unbelievably good. I'm going to put Albedo up in the S tier. He is tremendously good, especially for like the playstyle that I have, which is typically like a hard carry at the top and then a bunch of characters that exist purely to support that main carry. He exists purely to buff my Hu Tao. Not only does he provide a ton of elemental mastery to her, which is amazing. She pairs with Xingqiu, so we're doing Vaporize constantly. He gives elemental mastery passively, but also as long as I'm attacking it within that circle, we're getting these, transient blossoms that are Geo blossoms that are going off all the time, doing 10,000 damage a pop. He's nuts. I can't believe I didn't build him sooner. I think I would have made the game a lot easier on myself sooner if I would have built him. He's a very good character. Jean is an interesting one. Jean I actually pulled during the Zhao banner. I was pulling for Zhao, and a gold came, and I lost the 50-50, and I got Jean. Spoiler alert, didn't really matter because I got Zhao 7 pulls later, which was insane. There's probably a clip of it out there somewhere if you'd like to go see it. It was on my Twitch. Even though the circumstances were bonkers and there's no reason I should have pulled Jean, I somehow managed to pull Jean there, and I'll be honest, she's been sitting on the bench ever since. I've never really found a great opportunity to use her. Maybe on the C team, perhaps. Obviously love the character for color palette, we'll say. I think that's the nomenclature we've been using. From a color palette perspective, I think the character is awesome. It's a very well designed character. I like her personality quite a bit. I do love the Grandmaster's Day Off quest and the storyline itself. I think Jean is probably an S tier, and whenever my boy Yeetus brings Jean into our co-op sessions, I'm always very excited. Mostly because I know that means he won't be playing as Amber, and we can do some damage. But I'm really happy to see Jean because the heals are ridiculous and the buffs are really good as well. And also, she can yeet people across the entire map with her E, which I think is hilarious. I did get a lot of use for her in the Bloons Tower defense. Theater Mechanicus minigame that they did. There was almost nothing more exciting than holding up enemies and launching them into the pit of despair. She's going to stay in the A tier. I haven't done enough with her yet to put her up in the S tier, but I'll leave her in the A tier for now. Next we have Mona. I have Mona on my main account as well. You'll notice most of these 5-stars are on my main account because that's where I pay money, so I would expect to have more, I hope. Mona, she's like kind of built, and I would really love to bring her in someday. It's again a situation of A, the resources cost a lot of money. B, I do not want to fight Hydro Boss like literally ever. It took me so long to get Xingqiu up where he needed to be. I don't want to go through it again with Mona because that sounds like a nightmare. And also, I just don't have room for her. I got too many great characters, and she hasn't had a great spot. She's got a little bit of a Jean situation. We got a nice color palette, which definitely makes me want to use her. The only thing that's really prevented me from enjoying Mona, I was going to build her up at one point. I was testing her out. I switch a lot between my characters, and her water dash, while it's cool and while it's nice for traversing and like getting around the land quickly, dude, it sucks in the middle of battle. Sometimes you get pulled in random directions. You can't switch while you're underwater, so sometimes you're trying to swap and you can't. You don't get iframes while you're down there, so sometimes you just get absolutely pelted. Her playstyle, unfortunately, is a little too awkward for me. I have not really enjoyed it. I also think her personality is... Maria just did the Mona quest the other day, and I forgot how semi-obnoxious she is during the course of the entire quest line. I think I'm gonna unfortunately have to move her down to the B tier. I know it's a 5-star in the B tier, which is just crazy talk, but yeah, I just haven't found a spot for her yet. Maybe someday, though. Next, we have Child/Tartaglia. Ladies and gentlemen, please close your eyes. If seeing a 5-star in the B tier upset you, how are you gonna feel when one goes all the way down to the D tier? I have a vendetta against this character for many reasons. The primary one is, as I mentioned earlier, I was really hoping to get Kaya off of my A team and plug in Rosaria. Well, Rosaria was on the Child banner, and Child banner came right before the Zhong Li rerun. And I knew I wanted Zhong Li, and I knew I was getting close to pity, and I knew I did not want this character because I wanted Zhong Li. If this was a better character, then maybe I wouldn't have minded not getting him, but I don't really like this character's playstyle. He's a bow user, but you're hurting yourself if you use him as a bow user. His double blades are cool when you use them, but it's weird that it's like, I'm a bow character, but don't actually give me a bow, otherwise you'll be very upset. And I feel like, to a degree, because I didn't like this character's playstyle, because I didn't need a Hydro character, it gate kept me from getting my Queen Rosaria. And I'm holding that against Tartaglia. Not only that, but like, he's kind of like a big old jerk. I don't care what the story says. Ooh, I was being used by Signor. I didn't know what I was doing. We gotta fight this guy every single week, and he definitely has tried to murder us on many an occasion. His little brother Tusser, you're not supposed to hit kids, but I'll tell you what, if I have to hear that dude say Mr. Cyclops one more time, I'm putting him all the way to Snezhnaya. Yeah, just doesn't do it for me. Hate to say it. I know a lot of people love this character. That's gonna rub a lot of people the wrong way. That's okay though. Venti. I don't think I had done at this point the Stanley quest. Maybe I had. It's like the only quest in Genshin thus far that has like nearly made me cry. Which takes a lot. I'm not a boy known for my emotions. I wished so hard on Venti on both of my accounts. I went really hard into his banner, and I was unable to pull him. Now, I did get D-Luke out of it, which is still pretty pog, but I didn't get to bring him home. Maria did bring him home. I want this character so bad. Like, I'm waiting for a third rerun. I want Venti. I'm going to put Venti up in the S tier. I think he's busted. Crazy good. His crowd control ability is amazing. Love the character in general. Like, I think the Windbloom Festival event really made me like Venti even more. Like, his character's just so good. Like, they just nailed the personality of the character. And I'm very upset that I don't have him. It's the 5-star I want the most, without a doubt. Zhang Ling. I really put Zhang Ling in the A tier, huh? That's interesting. I don't touch Zhang Ling, I'll be honest with you. I don't use Zhang Ling. I don't care that much about Zhang Ling. At the time, she was the only polearm user I had. Now I have 4 of them. So I think the excitement of being the only polearm user has worn off quite a bit. I'm gonna put her down in the C tier. I know that seems a little rude. She's just like a little bit below average for me. I think she's fine. I just haven't had much of an opportunity to... Well, I'll be honest. I just have just infinitely better characters than her in just about every regard. I've got Hu Tao for Pyro. I've got Bennett for Pyro. I've got Albedo and Zhong Li for off-field support, Xingqiu for off-field support. The things her Guoba can do are just not, unfortunately not up to snuff with what a lot of other characters can do. It's gonna be a long video, by the way. Okay. Mona, Kaya. I told you I have a level 80 Barbara, which is nuts. I put so much value on healing early in the game, and part of that is because I put such a low value on Bennett. I despised Bennett. The second I decided to give Bennett a shot, Barbara, I hate to say, became, as Zhao might say, worthless. Barbara became absolutely worthless to me. I have not used Barbara in such a long time. I can't even recall the last time I used her. I think I used her occasionally in the Noblesse Oblige Bloodstained artifact domain, because there's a pyro mage, and so I think I brought her originally to break the shield. Then I built my Xingqiu, and he's better attacking at water, and Bennett's better at healing with fire, which is basically just both things she does. Well, she doesn't really attack at all, but infinitely better. She's gonna go down to the C tier, unfortunately, Barbara. La 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 la. She was the first hangout event that I did, so I'll give her some brownie points for that. She's pretty adorable. That's about it, though. Next, we have Aether and Lusamine, whose names I actually know now. That's a testament to how much I've grown as a Genshin boy. B tier's too high. I threw them in the B tier because I was like, yeah, that's average. They're below average characters. And let me get this straight. It is sick that eventually they're going to be able to have all of the different elements. Dendro, Electro, Geo, Animo, Pyro. There's going to be like builds for every single one of those, like the Avatar. Concept is sick. Unfortunately, we've been sitting on Animo and Geo. I know Electro's coming soon, but we've been sitting with two for forever, and both of them right now are not very good. The Geo build was okay during Theater Mechanicus, but other than that, I have no desire to use these characters. I don't think they're that interesting. Their storyline is interesting, don't get me wrong. The characters' kits themselves I have no desire to use. I'm going to stick both of them down into C tier. Again, I think they can only go up from here if future iterations of the characters are cooler. Iterations isn't the right word. If future elements make their kits a little bit more interesting, maybe I'll try working them into some teams. But as it stands now, I mean, it's the main character. It's supposed to be kind of it's vanilla ice cream. How do you like vanilla ice cream? It's not horrible, but we'll put it right here. Baido I put in the B tier, basically because I like the way she looked. Baido is one of the few 4-stars that I still don't have on either of my accounts. I have no Baido, although she's obviously coming up. Actually, the Eula banner's dropping tonight. And she's going to be on the Eula banner. I don't really want to wish on the Eula banner. Other than the fact that it has Xingqiu, and I want more Xingqius. But maybe I'll get my first Baido. Maria has Baido. I've seen Maria play as Baido. I could tell you that I don't think her playstyle is for me. I don't think I really enjoy Baido's playstyle very much. Maybe that'll change once I get her. Electro is cool. She's another character that needs a hangout event or a story quest of some sort, like my girl Jinyan. She's kind of just fallen by the wayside. For now, unfortunately, I think I gotta stick her down in C tier. This is a little bit of a slaughter, dude. I'm being a lot more harsh this time around, I can tell you that. Next, we have Ganyu. Ganyu is a character who I judged very harshly when she first came out based on her aesthetics alone. I said, ew, I don't think I like the weird demon horns coming out of the top of your head. Reminds me of Guitar Hero 3 a little bit. Yeah, I obviously regret that. She is the most busted character in the entire game. Anytime NSL cracks her out and then just one-shots every single enemy in the game, feel nothing but intense FOMO. I wish that I would have wished on this character. Kaya would have been gone a long time ago. I wouldn't care if I got Rosaria or not because I would have had Ganyu. I don't have Ganyu on either account. I'm gonna put her up in the A tier. She's probably S tier in terms of damage output, and if I ever get her, I will put her up in the S tier probably. I'm a little upset that I didn't. I can't remember who she was sandwiched in between, but I remember. Oh, Banjo's about to bark. Go, Banjo, go! I don't remember who she was sandwiched between. I think it was Zhao and who was before her. It wasn't Zhong Li and Zhao. Was it Zhao and Hu Tao? Can't remember. All I know is that I ended up wishing on both of the ones sandwiched around her, which just left me with no primos to wish on her banner, which was an immense mistake. Next we have Sucrose. Sucrose. I like Sucrose quite a bit. She's not used much on my main account. On my B team, on the D-Loop team, her swirling ability is really sick. I think B tier is a pretty accurate place for her right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave her there. Animo in general, I feel like the Viridescent Inventor set is amazing and makes all Animo characters very good. They still, for some reason, I feel like leave a little bit to be desired, so I'll be interested to see what they do with Animo in the coming updates. I know there were talks about them getting a buff of some sort, same with Electro, but we'll see what happens with them. Zhao. So Zhao was the first character that we did a stream and we wished for. I was really pogged up for Zhao. I loved this angsty My Chemical Romance looking boy. Liked his story quest quite a bit. Obviously, we had the crazy thing happen on stream where I got a gold. It turned out to be Jean. And then I gave up and said, darn, I guess no Zhao for me. And then 7 later, literally the next 10 pulled Zhao. Even surrounding all of that, I have not built this character yet. Now, I think he's going to be the main for my C team. I tried him for a little bit, and our friend Spink loves Zhao, uses him quite a bit, and I know he's very, very strong. His playstyle is very strange, because obviously it's based on just kind of hopping all around like a bunny and essentially ground pounding stuff as if you're in Mario. Which is a really weird, very mobile playstyle to get used to, and it didn't really resonate with me. I'm hoping that when I start practicing with it a little more, now that I've gotten better at the game, I'll enjoy it more. For now, though, I'm gonna keep Zhao in the B tier. All right, down to the C tier. We've done all of these characters already. We're over in Shang Yun. I gotta be honest. I don't know what this character's deal is. I don't know. It's cool they gave him a hangout event. I think it somehow made me dislike him even more, though. Shang Yun's going to the D tier. Yeah, I've just got too many other really good Claymore users. Maybe I just don't understand how his moves work. I don't know why I'd want my damage to be converted to cryo, especially as like a D-Luke or a Razor when I'm trying to do pyro or physical damage. He essentially just like serves as a nerf for most people. If Amber didn't exist, I think he would probably be the worst 4-star in the game. I honestly just don't get it. I have him. I maybe haven't given him a fair shake. I blame him a little bit. I think it was him, Jinyan. That's who it was. It wasn't Barbara. It was Shang Yun, Jinyan, and Razor on the Zhong Li banner. I blame you for me not getting Zhong Li about 6 months ago. Next, we got Diona. Diona took me a very long time to get. Actually, I didn't get her until they gave away the free Diona during this event. And I gotta tell you what, I did get her on my second account, and I used Diona for a long time until I got Bennett. I underrated this character. I think her ability to do both heals and shields is a unique combination. Be quiet, Noelle, no one's talking to you. Her ability to both shield and heal, I think, is a really nice combination. The cryo's really good. Not to mention, she's a short character, which, as you've seen with Klee and Chi-Chi, is a big thing for me. Although it's a little strange that she's like half Bobcat. That makes me Ocelot. Makes me a little uncomfortable. I'm not really a big fan of that. But I know certain parts of the internet are, so we'll put her in the B tier. Lisa. Lisa originally in the C tier. Lisa's going down to the D tier. I don't understand what this character does. I really didn't understand what she did when I first started playing, and I was like, well, maybe as I get better at the game and do more things with this character, I'll understand more. No, I'm completely in the dark. I don't understand how to make this character work, and to be honest, I don't have much of a desire to learn how to make the character work. I think I just don't like the mages in general. Not exactly my preferred playstyle, but for some reason, especially with Lisa, although, I mean, okay, personality-wise, you know, keep calling me Sugar. Playstyle-wise, it actually, like, physically hurts me to play as that character. Okay, C tier, I have Ning Wang. That's just silly. I don't know what I was doing before. She's not a C tier. Now, I don't use Ning Wang. I have her on both accounts. I don't use her for whatever reason, but I think she's awesome, and you know, based on her character in the game, I would have thought this was a 5-star. I'm kind of surprised this character, based on the way she looks and her importance in the story as the owner of the Jade Chamber. I'm amazed that this is not a 5-star character. And as much as I don't like mages, I like what she does quite a bit. Again, I haven't found a place for her on my team yet. Her playstyle is like a little bit too slow for me. She attacks a little bit slow, which I know is ironic coming from a guy who likes the Claymore users the best, and who started with Jinyan as his main, but she attacks just a little bit too slow for me, but character-wise, I think she's awesome. Sing Shou is actually hilarious to me that I had him in the C tier. I think I had him at this point, but I hadn't used him. And it took me, kind of an Albedo situation here, it took me a really long time to use Sing Shou, and once I finally admitted that I was being stubborn and said, let's give this character a chance, oh my goodness, literally my entire worldview changed. I think he is probably the best or the second best 4-star character. 4-star support for sure. I don't think he's quite good enough to get into the S tier, but I'll put him at the very tippity top of the A tier. Kaching, you're actually going to go down the A tier a little bit. Yeah, he's at the very top. His rain swords are so unbelievably broken. The fact that he both raises your resistance and heals you and does a ton of damage while he's off field. I have him built on both of my accounts because he's so good. He pairs with Diluc and Hu Tao tremendously well. Yeah, this guy was a sleeper. I thought he was a little bit boring the first time I played, and I'm pretty sure I pronounced him, if you go back to the first video, I think I pronounced him like Shang Shui or something like that, which is a testament to how little I knew about this character. He's ridiculous. If you have not built your Sing Shou yet, build your Sing Shou. Okay, finally in the D tier, we've done Lisa, we've done Tartaglia/Child, we've done Xiangyun, Noelle. If I could create an F tier, it's rude to say, but if I could create an F tier, I would put Noelle in the F tier. It's nothing against this character, truly. In fact, from the Hangout events, I think Noelle is a wonderfully nice lady. It is purely MiHoYo's obsession with her. They just got to stop with the Noelle. You get a free Noelle during your first 10 wishes. You get a guaranteed Noelle for your first 10 pull when you first get Genshin. So everybody gets Noelle for free. And since then, it feels like they have put her on every other banner since then, and it makes me want to wish on certain banners less, because I don't have any characters C6 right now. I have 2 characters that are C5. One of them is Jinyan, because I went really hard on her banner when I first started, and she was my main, and one is Noelle. The difference is this character I use all the time and mained. This character has been sitting at level 20 on my bench, and I have no desire to do anything with this character yet. She's sitting at C5. If I get another Noelle, I'm going to lose my mind. I wanted to wish more on the Zhong Li banner, but they stuck Noelle on it. And I don't understand why they keep trying to force Noelle down everybody's throats. I won't be shocked if she shows up. Obviously, she's not on the Eula banner, but if she's on the next banner, won't be surprised because she's back all the time. Rather than giving another character like Jinyan or Beta or Fischl or, I mean, anybody I'd like to hang out with, Venti, Klee, Chi-Chi, Kajing, Jean, instead of giving any of those characters hangout quests, they gave Noelle a second one. A second hangout. There's something weird going on with Noelle. It's like, it's got to be like based on the CEO of MiHoYo's wife or something, because there's an unhealthy obsession at MiHoYo HQ with this character. And because they love her so much, I refuse. So she's going in the D tier. Alright, next we got Benny Boy. I can't, this one, Sing Show hurts. Bennett in the D tier is actually a crime against humanity, to put it bluntly. It is a crime against Genshin humanity. I said Sing Show is the best 4-star. I lied. Bennett is the best 4-star without a doubt. He heals, he buffs, he gives pyro resonance. I mean, that's about all he does. But the amount that he heals and the amount that he buffs is so unbelievable. Essentially, if you have a Bennett on your team and you have him built, what I found, and this was someone who came from Barbara, where's Barbara? Barbara was doing all of my heals. Barbara did a decent job of keeping me alive. When I switched from Barbara to Bennett, it became impossible to die. Just actually impossible to pass away anymore. He's so good. And I can't believe it took me... I can't believe I had him in the D tier. I think I did basically just purely on his personality. I also had a bunch of Bennetts early on, kind of like a Noelle situation. I think I have like C3 Bennett, which is hilarious because on my second account, I was like, please give me Bennett. I had to buy him out of the shop. It took me so long to get a Bennett. Yeah, he's broken. He's pretty toasted. All right. There's the old characters reorganized. Only took 47 minutes. Let's try to make this video sub-hour. Let's get into the 4 new characters. I'm going to ignore these 2 characters because this lady was apparently a leak from like 6 years ago, and I probably am not supposed to say that word. MiHoYo might take this video down. And she's still not out. I don't know what she is. And this is another character that TikTok is like pogging off for, but I don't know who he is either, or she is. I don't know who that character is, so I'm not going to talk about them. What I will talk about is Hu Tao. Hu Tao, again, we went on stream, we wished. I got Hu Tao. The only sad thing I can say about Hu Tao is that because I got her, I went super hard into the Staff of Homa banner, and I used about 40 wishes on the Staff of Homa banner that I could have saved for the Venti banner and probably gotten Venti. And instead I got nothing. But she's so good. I mean, she's unbelievable. She's probably my second favorite character to Zhong Li. Her personality is amazing. Ooh, so quirky. Her story quest, while it did give me an existential crisis because it deals with the idea of life and death and what happens after. Don't talk to me about the second to last episode of BoJack Horseman. The story quest was so unbelievably well done. It made it impossible to not like the character. The character's playstyle, this is an example of where once I learned Hu Tao, I was like, Razor is boring. Hu Tao is this like dangerous glass cannon dance with death kind of thing where the closer to death you are, the more damage you do. Obviously, she pairs tremendously well with Zhong Li, which I have, to keep her at super low HP but protected by a shield so she can do max damage. There's something so enjoyable about seeing... I think the highest damage I've ever done on her Q right now is like 140,000 from a crit, and something about seeing those big numbers. Don't get me wrong, it's nice seeing a consistent 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, 10,000 from Razor, but there's something about seeing an instantaneous 140, 150,000 hit your screen that's just it gets you feeling a certain kind of way. Yeah, she's unbelievable, and she carries my team really hard. Even though she's the leader of the B team is so busted. It's her, Sing Show, Albedo, Zhong Li. It's essentially the A team, and I wouldn't have it any other way. She's amazing. Rosaria. Why do you hate me, Rosaria? I wanted you to come home, and you refused to come home. You just had to be on the Tartaglia banner, didn't you? Alright, well, even though I'm upset that she didn't choose to come home, I still have to give her an A tier just based off of color palette and aesthetics alone and her character design. Think it's very good. I really wish she was on my team. She would replace Kaya in a heartbeat. I can't talk too much about her playstyle because, well, I don't know it other than the test run that I did, but I can tell you that if she ever is on another banner in the future, my Primo Gems will be going towards it, as long as they don't put someone garbage on the on the main thing. Speaking of someone garbage on the main thing, I'm kidding. We have the next 5-star Eula, whose banner is going live later today. Eula, at least from what everyone is talking about and from what we've seen thus far, seems like she will just be Cryo Razor, but obviously a 5-star, so she'll probably hit a little harder. She's Cryo instead of Electro. She does physical damage. She's got kind of a cool shtick in that she's a ballerina. She's got some weird family history. Her parents were like an evil slave owner family or something, and she's disavowed them. So she's got like a cool backstory. I don't know if the backstory in this case is going to be enough for me to really want this character. I think the character's design overall is sick. It's very good. I think my problem at this point is I've been playing Genshin for so long that I have so many pure main DPS characters, Razor and Diluc and Hu Tao, and characters that really only exist to be main carries, Zhao, that I've run out of spots for them, because you can only you pick one of them and then you pick supports for them, basically, if you do that style. I just don't have a spot for her, unfortunately, so I'm really not too excited about this banner, other than the fact that it has Sing Show, and I really want Sing Show. So I'm going to put her in the C tier. C tier seems a little rude. I'll put her in the B tier. The character design is too clean to be C tier. No offense to you guys down here. Finally, we have Yanfei. Yanfei's got a strange hat. She's a pyro mage who I did pull. Once again, I unfortunately just like have too many amazing pyro characters. Looking at you, Diluc, Hu Tao, Jinyan, Bennett. I have too many great pyro characters that she just like doesn't have a spot right now. That being said, I do think the character design's pretty good and she seems pretty cool. I haven't played enough with this character to really know her strengths and or weaknesses. She's interesting in that she's like an Adeptus. She's the granddaughter of Madame Ping and Liyue, which is a cool backstory. This may be a Bennett or a Sing Show situation that 3 months from now I come back and I laugh at myself. I give myself a hearty chuckle. But for now, I'm going to put her in the C tier, and I think that's fair. All right, there you go. Orders have been shuffled, hearts have been broken. Here is my updated as of 1.5 Genshin Impact tier list with 6 months under my belt. Perhaps we'll come back in 6 more months, and I'll come back and look at this and see how ridiculous some of these placements are yet again. Hopefully I've got Venti and Klee and Ganyu and a lot of these other characters by then. Hopefully I haven't spent $10,000 on the game by then to get those characters though. Link to this will be in the description below. If you would like to do your own Genshin 1.5 tier list, you can let me know. Let me know what you're excited about upcoming, and Genshin 1.6 is hopefully just around the corner, probably 2 or 3 weeks away, unless they try to sneak in a sneaky third banner in 1.5 in, which is completely possible. But let me know what you're excited for. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Who's your favorite? Who's your main? Any fellow Jinyan mains out there? I don't know. Hey, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, please consider showing us some support. Liking, commenting, subscribing. Help out a great deal. Share with your grandmother as always. But thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.